Welcome to the second lecture of circuit theory, and as I told you that this subject is an important subject for the students of electrical engineering, electronics engineering and other students also which are preparing for PSU and other competitive examinations. So coming towards the second lecture, this is again the first module which is basics of circuit, and we are at the second lecture of this module. In this module we will study the source transformation, examples on source transformation and different types of electrical network which are present. Source transformation is used for the simplification of circuit. In this we convert the voltage into current or current into voltage, but for this transformation there should be a particular circuit condition. If this particular circuit condition exists in this network or circuit, then we will solve and get the other circuit parameter, means we can convert the voltage into current or current into voltage depending upon our requirement to solve the complex circuit. So any practical voltage source, we know that the practical voltage source is represented as a voltage source which is represented by plus and minus and an resistance which is connected in series. Let us consider the resistance to be R, then the representation will be V and R. This R will be 0 if our source is ideal source. For the practical source, this value will be very small. Now the current representation can be shown in the figure. The current is represented as a magnitude of current and a resistance connected in parallel to this current source. So these are the representation. We will now look how to convert the voltage into current and how this will look when we convert the voltage into current. Conversions means we have to, if we have voltage source, this is given. If I am writing it in left side, means this is given, this is to be obtained. Okay, so in this case resistance will also be given. And now if we have a voltage source and a small value of resistance connected in series, this is a voltage source representation which is okay. Now current source representation is this. Now when we want to convert this voltage source in current source, we have to find the value of I and we also have to find the value of R. But if we have I and R, means this is given current to voltage source, we have to find the value of V and we also have to find the value of R. This is resistance. Now we will look how to find the value of I and R in the case of voltage to current source conversion and V and R for current to voltage source conversion. Okay, I will discuss this here also. If you want to convert the voltage into current, now look at the condition. Here I am considering 2 points A and B on these both sources, and now our task is to find the I and R. Now calculating one by one, first is the calculation of resistance, so writing it as IRAB. Now RAB is the resistance between terminal A and B, and as I told you in the previous lecture, the ideal voltage source has zero resistance or the voltage source is short circuited. So if we short circuit this, what we get, the resistance between A and B is R. So the resistance is again R. So the value of resistance doesn't change when we convert the voltage source into current source or vice versa. when we want to calculate the I is nothing but short circuit current. So what we do, we short circuit the terminal A and B and find the current flowing through this terminal. So I is nothing but V upon R. We can write I is equals to V upon R, and R is equals to R. So the value of resistance will be same and the current will be I is equals to V upon R. Or when we convert current source into voltage source, in that case voltage will be I into R and the resistance will be R. This will be the answer. These two topics can be understand better by solving some numericals, and I will have two numericals to understand the topic. Look at this numerical. In this we have to use source transformation method to calculate VR4. Now look at VR4. What is VR4? So VR4 is the voltage across resistance R4, and this R4, this voltage, look at this voltage polarity. This voltage polarity is written as minus and plus. I am redrawing this circuit and converting this current source into voltage source. Look at the conversion. When I convert, then this value is R1, as the value of resistance doesn't change, and the polarity will be same as plus sign will be in the direction of current. So Is into R1, and when we solve we will get 10.5 volt. Okay, and consider this point as A. So now we are at A point, and at A point a second resistance R2 is connected. So this is R2, and then a resistance R3 is connected, and after that R4, and a voltage source of Vs. We will write all these value of Vs and R after writing the equation. Again, this question can be solved using two methods. One is to use KCL, and the second one is to use KVL. You can also solve by considering two loops and solving two equations, but when we use KCL we will get only one. So I am considering this point as A and voltage as VA, and as we learned in the previous lecture that we will mark all the current in forward direction and will name it as I1, I2, I3, or IA, IB, IC. You can name as you want. Now applying KCL at node A, we get I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equals to 0. Again, what is IA? IA is the current flowing from VA to R1, R2 and IS R1, that is voltage source. So as current we have assumed is flowing from VA to ISRS, then it's obvious that as per our assumption the current is flowing from VA to ISIS. So VA is at higher potential, so we write VA minus, then what is polarity? It is minus. So minus of 10.5, this is an important point which should be noted, and divided by the resistance, that is R1 plus R2. Again, what is I2? I2 is nothing but VA minus no other source. So VA minus 0 divided by R3 plus VA minus again plus Vs divided by R4 is equals to 0. And when we put and solve, what we get? VA plus 10.5 divided by R1 plus R2 is 65. VA divided by 95. VA minus 35 divided by 45, and all the students should know how to use calculator, because this type of calculation can be done easily using the calculator. So for calculating using calculator, what to do? Separate the non-parameter and a non-parameter in this manner, and you can type in your calculator the 1 upon, instead of 161 upon 65, you can type it as 65 inverse, and when you add 65 inverse plus 95 inverse plus 45 inverse, after finding the value, again take the whole inverse and then solve this equation. When you solve, you will get that VA is 12.8 volt. If any student doesn't have any calculator, then he can simply solve by taking the LCM and cross multiplying these factors. And now we have to calculate the VR4. Now look at this branch which I am highlighting. This branch is this is an important concept. You don't need to use a lengthy calculation for finding this. Consider 2 points. If this is A point, I am considering this as B point. So we have 2 points, A and B point, and potential at A, that is VA, you have already calculated 12.8, and some resistance R4, and you have VB, which is already given. Vs is equal as 35 volt. Now the drop will be the difference between these voltage. It's obvious and simple. So voltage across R4 can be calculated as 12.8 minus 35, which is comes at minus of 22.19 volt. And as this polarity, you can see this polarity is given like in this manner. So VR4 can be written as also positive magnitude as per given circuit condition. So, and this is our next question. In this question, what you to do, you have to find the voltage measured by voltmeter. You know that the voltmeter is a measuring instrument which is used for the measurement of voltage, and this voltmeter is connected to across 2 ampere current source. Now this question can be converted by converting this current source into voltage source. So I am converting this current source into voltage source, and again redrawing the circuit. So again this 8 volt is as it is, and we will have the same value of internal resistance, as we know that the internal resistance doesn't change, and the value of voltage V is equals to I into R. So 12 into 2, and that will be equals to 24 volt. Now completing the circuit, this voltage is again given 4 volt, and look at this polarity, 6 ohm, 12 ohm. Again you can solve this by using KCL and KVL both, but again I am suggesting to use KCL. So A point and voltage at A is VA, 3 currents flowing in forward direction, I1, I2 and I3. So if we applying KCL at node A, what you will get? You will get that I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equals to 0. Now what is IA? IA is the current flowing from VA towards minus 4 volt voltage source. So VA minus 4, again VA by 12. This is grounded and can be assumed as 0. So VA minus 0, or simply VA by 12 plus VA. In this branch 8 and 24 volt are connected and both are having the same type of connection, so it can be written as 8 plus 24. When we solve using calculator, you can convert this into this type, and this is 32 by 12 minus 8 by 12. 4 by 6 can be written as 8 by 12, and we will get it as 24 by 12, or simply 2, okay, not volt. And again solving, when we solve we get VA is equals to 6 volt. Now we don't have to calculate VA, we have to find the voltage measured by voltmeter, and these are the 2 points. These are the 2 points across which voltmeter is connected. This is the voltmeter again. So current flowing in this is I3, so I3 is VA minus 32 divided by 12, and this can be written as 6 minus 32 divided by 12, or minus 26 by 12 ampere. You can also solve, but and if we consider this point as x and y, then Vxy is applying the loop, what we get 12 minus 26 upon 12 plus 24, that is minus of 2 volt. Voltmeter measures only the magnitude, so it will show that you have to reverse the polarity to get the 2 volt, but the reversing the connection means we are getting the negative voltage. Next important discussion is what are the different types of electrical network. So we can classify the electrical network like linear network, bilateral, unilateral, these are both comes same, and active passive network, and lumped and distributed network. When we say the port in network, we can have 1 port, 2 port, or simply n port when we generalize. Okay, so linear network. What are the linear network? Linear network are those which follow Ohm's law. So if we have a circuit like this, and if we have plus minus voltage R1, R2 voltage, this is a linear circuit because this circuit follow the Ohm's law. We can also have a inductor, this is also a linear circuit, this is also a linear circuit, and any combination of resistor, inductor, or resistor, capacitor are linear circuit. All these are linear circuits. Bilateral network are those which behavior and characteristic are same with respect to irrespective of direction of current. And let us consider an example. If we look at this is a purely resistive. So if we apply in this manner, and if we apply in this manner, in both the manner this circuit behavior and characteristic will be same. If this is same, then the characteristic will be same. Unilateral network are those which behavior depend upon the direction of current, and when we draw the VI characteristic, in this case we get a linear relationship. But in unilateral circuit like a diode circuit, this is a load, when you change the polarity, this is simply D1, let's say R, when you change the polarity, or supply, then the characteristic will be changed. This will be the characteristic. In this characteristic and this characteristic, both are different. Active network are any network which has at least one source of energy. All the circuits including op-amp, voltage and current source are an example of active network. So active network can be, if we consider an example of active network, this network minus plus, this is an op-amp IC 471, and when we have any such type of connection, this is output voltage, input voltage, then this is an example of active network. Passive network are those network which doesn't have any source of energy. Okay, so if we have R, L and C connected like this, or any other combination R, L and C, then these are the passive network. Distributed network are mostly used in power system when different transmission lines are used for transfer for the power from A point to B point, and two wires are used. This is, we can consider some voltage. So voltage x upon t means voltage is changing upon the voltage is function of distance and time. This is not of our course, in the range of our course. This we can discuss in power system. So what we do while solving this type of network, we convert this in this case the resistance is distributed in the whole wire, but while solving this equation, what we do, we convert this resistance or inductance like R dx, L dx in this manner. So we can combine this in some small group, G dx, C dx, and if we consider, let's say current at this point is I, which is function of distance and time. At this is not x, the distance has been changed but time is same, so v x plus dx into t, and here v is the function of x and t. So simply, if we have distributed network, then the resistance will be distributed, and if we have lumped them, then the resistance will be concentrated, or other parameter inductance and capacitance can be considered as a lumped value. Our last discussion is the port in electrical network. So we can have different types of network having, if any network having only two terminal or simply one terminal pair, then this type of network is known as a one port network. We can consider, let us consider an example. This is a network in which simply the current is I1 and voltage is V1, then this network is known as the one port. For better view, we can look what is in the network. So if this type of network having resistance R and I1 V1, then this network is one port network. But if we have more than one port, means we have I1 in this and I2 in this, and voltage V1, here it is V2. So this terminal is known as the 1 and 1 dash, this terminal is 2 and 2 dash, and such type of network are known as the two port network. N port network, we have n number of ports which can be connected in different combination. Okay, so these are the today's discussion is almost over, and in next lecture we will continue further. Thank you.